Shout out to Antwerp.
So everyone sent me this. There's a bunch of new terms this year. New year, new terms. You're not happy with the new terms coming at you?
I'm tired with
life and new terms come at you quick.
I'm so tired.
Ryan, I'm so tired.
I'm Green Mile.
I know.
I'm so tired with the new terms.
What is abbrosexual? Let me explain. As it took 30 years to realize my identity. So do you? Oh, I guess you read it, so you don't. I don't have to guess what abbrosexual is.
It seems like it's bisexual to me.
It does seem like
it's
that.
Honestly, you know what it seems like? It's bisexual, but you're just a little more annoying about it.
It kind of does seem
like isn't that like a pretty accurate description?
Yeah, well, you know what? Okay, so for those of you who don't know what it is, abbrosexuality is for the layman's person's term, it simply means someone's sexuality identity fluctuates and changes. So it's basically bisexual, but they tell you when it changes.
Yeah, so
they give you updates,
bisexual,
but I give you updates of which one I like.
But sometimes
right now.
I'm just lesbian, sometimes I'm just straight, but I'll let you know.
Yeah, so bisexual, yeah,
bisexual,
but they give you updates more.
Yeah, just annoying.
And literally, the term was invented for kind of what you're saying, where she was like, I would give people updates, and they'd be like, well, it sounds like you're just bi, and she's like, I'm not though.
Right now I'm lesbian.
It is the ultimate in sexuality. All of the sexualities at once. You are abbro.
This is not gender stuff, I guess.
You're right though. They all are that because they're like it fluctuates. You go, so all of them.
Yeah, so all of them.
I know this.
Well, that's
new term
like that bisexual is because you're both.
But they're saying, well, I'm not both. Always. They go.
Just glad you didn't poke my eye out.
They go. You're both. You go. Correction.
I
was both, and I will again be both.
I wonder, do they ever have like? Can they be? I go. I'm. No, because I was gonna say, can you be like I'm straight and lesbian, and they go, you're bisexual, and they're like, no, I'm straight and lesbian.
Basically, what they're doing,
zone thing.
They're just saying they don't always happen simultaneously. For those of you who don't know, and then they said, one day I felt like a lesbian, yet days or weeks later, I felt more aligned with bisexuality. My sexuality is fluid. When I tell people I'm abbrosexual, I'm often greeted with a blank expression, followed by a question with what the term means. I think that you're probably often greeted with, check please.
Yeah, that's a cool story, but yeah, wake up early.
It's funny. That's so funny. Saying she needed a new term because she was greeted with a blank expression. Where'd you get that blank expression on your face?
I'm looking at the abbrosexual flag. They have a flag.
Yes. No. If you were on a date with a girl and she goes, oh, I should probably tell you I'm abbrosexual. It's like, well, right now I'm into guys. Sometimes I'm just into girls. Sometimes into both. You go, yeah, no, for sure. You're calling the Uber under the table. Honestly.
Well, depending on how hot she is, you go, oh, this might be okay.
Check please. Waiter. No one was intentionally hurtful, but I'd get the occasional, yeah, but you said you were a lesbian last week. They didn't understand, and at the time, I didn't have the right words to explain herself, so she was getting friggin' pissed when she said that, right?
Oh,
she goes,
hate that.
well, I'm bisexual, and she goes, I was with you yesterday, and you went on a fucking 2-hour bender about how you're a lesbian and how you hate men, and then she goes, and she was just sat there being like...
That was yesterday.
She probably went, yeah, she went back to the lab, sat in the lab with the pen and the pad.
Gotta get the damn label off, I ain't having that.
yeah, that's her.
That's her.
This is bisexual without the math. With aftermath. This is a bisexual with aftermath.
Yep.
So she sat there with the pen and the pad, you know, all the different terms, like ripping up the, crinkling the thing, throwing it in the garbage.
Yeah, just like doing the whole like in the basket and then trying to just, but then she makes too many in a row and she goes, oh, it might be straight.
Yeah.
I made a lot of row. I guess I'm lesbian right now.
And that abbrosexual, she goes, it's so fucking perfect. It just might work. She was wringing her. She was definitely wringing her neck, though. Unhappy. No one was intentionally hurtful, but it's still hard to hear things like, "Mate, you're just confused," or just say that you're bisexual and be done with it. I refuse to be boxed in by someone else's limited knowledge. So another person we could probably hire for the Boyscast. This seems like someone that would be a good, hardworking employee.
Yep.
Not problems, not problematic. She can be in charge of great men coordination as well.
How well do you think? I'm sorry. I'm just. So this is the abbrosexual flag. Pretty crappy flag. But there's all these like flag companies that sell all the gay flags.
They must be doing okay.
Are they doing gangbusters? Well, they have like 4 million flags, like different designs.
We should start a homosexual flag company. You know what we call that?
Honestly, or
just make Canadian flags. No, hold on.
Pretty good.
You make Leafs for the Montreal Canadiens there.
Yeah.
If you want to make a homosexual flag, why don't you just make it for the Habs?
Yeah, they probably do pretty good though.
A flag company. There must be one, and this is sort of like my dream. Maybe it'd be a funny movie or something, but like it would be just so funny if there was someone that was doing, you know, you were making like the Trump flags and the Biden flags and just doing like, yeah, like you said, gangbusters.
Yeah, I mean, there obviously are a lot of flag manufacturers, but like the queer flags, that's pretty niche, I think, because you have to know, like, you got to be on top. Like, it's easy to make like a, you know, country flag, but these things are just popping up fucking every day. There's a new one of these.
That's weird. Like, that was the queer, I guess, clear flag. Did you see the queer fag?
Hey! He showed a photo for the record of me. I am the queer flag. But yeah, there's this website.
Boom! That's what happens when you get in the scope. We got
now I'm stuck on this queerintheworldshop.com website.
That's it. That's it. Your whole thing is going to be if a girl ever looked at your thing, she goes, what have you been looking at?
Queer in the world.
Fat con, queer flags. You guys, is there something you want to tell me?
Yeah, I got a wacky sense of humor.
You, Danny, walking in there. 2 tickets to paradise.
I got.
So then that one, and then they also said Sologami, and basically all those girls that were marrying themselves, now they have
that is
one.
like a real. I had never heard of that even forever. That's a recent thing where women are like, we're just marrying ourselves.
Yeah, well, they used to just have cats and be done with it.
That's what I'm saying. They didn't. It was a shameful thing.
I think the internet said to because those people were sort of like, listen, I'm like 55 years old. I'm just like some chick, like I'm by myself. I'm on government assistance potentially. You know what I mean? I'm not out in the world. I have my one friend that I talk to. I have my 45 cats.
Crochet.
But I think the internet said you need to be heard.
Yeah, you need to be heard, and like this is actually like
you need to be seen and heard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if there's something crazy about it. In the majority of sologamy stories in the media, women, not men, are the ones slipping on the formal wear and throwing a self-marriage party. So women are leading the trend. It's
wow. Wow, that's shocking.
What are the fucking odds of that? What on earth are the odds that women would be leading?
Not a lot of guys buying tuxedos to marry themselves.
What are the odds, my friend? Monogamy might be the norm in cultures today, especially when it comes to marriage, but sologamy, often called self-marriage, offers an alternative for those who want to marry themselves. It used to be called le who is a her. We've actually replaced the term le who is a her
with sologamy.
Sologamy. So there's this girl, she married herself 2022. Self-marriage is a commitment to being there for yourself, to choose a livelihood, realizing and growing and blossoming that you're beautiful, deeply happy person.
Deeply happy.
What I'm trying to say
whenever
is,
you have to tell yourself you're deeply happy, you're not.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you have to tell a girl you're deep inside of her. I'm really scratching that back of you.
Tell you the results just came out. This is totally normal size. I'm super deep inside of you based on the New York Post.
I'm deep inside the crevices.
If you don't think it's deep, that's just fake news. So I don't know what to tell you.
I better put a fucking
scientific.
I better put a mountain climbing helmet on this thing because I'm planning on going deep in there. I gotta get the cave light.
Caving.
I am deep inside of you.
Do you think we're gonna get on like a trend of articles where these chicks are starting to divorce themselves?
That's an interesting.
Like, is that the next?
You know what?
Step?
It was kind of making me think because they're saying, she goes, "What I'm trying to do is accept myself, all of me, even the parts that don't look pretty." It's like these people. A lot of times, it's like they have obviously depression and all this, every illness, and you go. What? So they would be like going to their therapist, being, "I hate myself," and it was like, "Well, also I'm getting married to myself."
But like, would they maybe meet a man?
So it is traditional marriage. They're just marrying someone that they hate.
Yeah. But then do they maybe like meet a guy and then they're like, I got to divorce myself because she's like, I'm seeing somebody. I'm married. And he goes, what? He's like, I can't date a married woman. What's his name? And he goes, it's not a him. You're a lesbian?
That is true.
Really? So who are you married to?
Did you just call me lesbian, you piece of shit? 80% of the people who am I married to myself. Shed a tear while reading their vows. Oh, that's even crazier, dude.
Wow, reading your vows to yourself and crying.
Yeah, this is something else.
Hinged behavior.
That is.
It's very just normal.
Yeah, encouraging this behavior is really nuts.